Hello everybody, it's Cobalt here, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be doing another custom critique. This is sort of a little video series that I started doing. I did not anticipate this second episode to take so long, but I'm finally doing it, so I hope you guys are all excited. If you're not familiar with what this is, essentially I ask you guys on Instagram to send me photos of your customs, and then I critique them. And I tell you what I like about them, and give you ideas on how you could possibly improve. If you want to be a part of this series, go over on Instagram, follow me at cobalt.studios, and send me some pictures of your custom. Now, without further ado, let's get right on into it. As you can see off to the side of the screen, I have all of the messages people have sent me filtered into my general tab so that I don't lose them. And I'm just going to scroll all the way to the bottom to start off with, because a lot of these people are still ones who submitted for the last video, but because of time I wasn't able to include them all. So let's start off with this person. This is Official Tigress Tiger. This person's really awesome, by the way, because they commissioned me to make their mascot, which is super cool. Anyways, here is the custom. It is this deer custom. It's very, very cool. I love the horns, and I really love that you included this stand as well. I think that's a nice touch because the back leg is like lifted off the ground. It sort of gives this illusion of movement into the custom, which I think is really nice. Looking a bit closer, I do love the color palette as well. I think the gray colors are super cool, and you don't really see a lot of gazelle type animals that are gray, so I think that makes it interesting. But I do think that the actual color of the LPS is maybe a little bit too similar to the color of the base. So if I were you, I would change the base color to maybe all green or add some brown in there just to distinguish the custom and the stand a little bit more. Next up, we have Citadel Customs. They have sent me a bunch of customs to take a look at, so I'm just going to choose two. The first one that catches my eye is definitely this Dachshund. It is based off of this short hair cat. I don't know which number it is off the top of my head, but I love that short hair. She has a great design, and I think that it translated so well into this Dachshund. I love the way that you painted the ears, where you added like the inner color on this base figure. I have not done that with a Dachshund before, but I have done that on Collie LPS, and I just love when people do that. I think it looks so cute. I think the eyes look great as well. Overall, you just did a really good job of translating it, and you captured the colors super well. As for another custom, I'm going to take a look at this one. This custom is also super cool. It looks like you sculpted the eyes on the top of the head. If they are just painted on, they do look a little bit raised or 3D, but they do look great. I think they look super cool. I know I keep saying super cool, but your customs are awesome, and I love the use of the real eyelashes. That gives this custom a lot more uniqueness to it. And with the wings, I love that you took some normal see-through LPS dragonfly wings, but then also added some paint on top. I think that looks really nice. I know I mentioned this to a couple other people in the last video, but I do feel like your paint job could be a tiny bit smoother. Obviously, that's not like a valid critique, because that's just something that takes practice, and the more you do it, the better you'll get at it. So what I personally do is I like to add more water. It definitely requires more layers, but in the end, the paint job comes out a lot smoother. Next up, we have Cryptic Studios. She makes really cool customs, and here are a few that she sent me. The first one I want to take a look at is this alien custom, which I know she made for somebody in a trade. It's super cool, and it has so many glow-in-the-dark details, and I just admire how much time you spent adding said glow-in-the-dark details, because if you guys don't know, glow-in-the-dark and neon paint takes so many layers. It's so frustrating, especially with glow-in-the-dark, because if you actually want it to glow, you have to add like a million layers. But I think that it looks so cool. I have no idea how you were able to paint the stars with the glow-in-the-dark paint and with how many layers you did. They look so clean and nice, and even with all the layers, I like how they look raised. Same with the eyebrows as well. I am not a fan of that like dark green and the light purple next to each other. Personally, I don't think those colors go well together, but that's just me. And I'll also take a look at this unicorn cat, because she has a lot going on. I love the eyelashes. I'm really bad at painting eyelashes, which is why I almost never put them on my customs, and she has so many. There's like 5 on here, and I think the sculpting on the dress looks great. I love the use of the fabric bow, and again, all the sculpting on this one looks really cool. And I love how the pattern inside the ears sort of looks like gemstones, which matches the little decorations on her harness, which I think is neat. And the unicorn horn also looks amazing. I don't even know, did you sculpt that? I'm not sure if that was taken from something else, but if you did sculpt it, it looks awesome. It looks super clean and polished. Next up, we have some customs sent in by LPS Foxy 101. it looks like they're all repaint custom, so I'm just going to take a look at these cows up here because they all look super cute. I really love these designs. It reminds me of like different flavors of ice cream or candy, like you have a chocolate one, a lemon one, and a strawberry one, and I think it's cool that they all have their own different unique designs, but the eyes all look similarly painted, so they could all go together as a little set. I wish the photos were a bit clearer so I could see the customs better, but I think that they look really, really cute, and I'm not really going to critique the other two customs too much, but I do love the fact that you made a custom out of a spider LPS. At least personally, I never use them. I don't really see very many spider customs, and this one looks very, very cute. Next up, I'm going to take a look at a custom from my friend Yeti's Dollverse. They've sent me quite a few customs to take a look at. I'm going to take a look at this collie first, and then there's another Great Dane a little further down that I love that I'm definitely going to talk about. But with this collie, I really love the colors. I think my favorite part is like this teal pattern that you have here, and then how it's outlined with the darker teal. It almost makes it look like it's glowing, which is super cool. And I am so bad at painting straight lines, especially outlining the fur pattern on collies. It's so hard. I'm so bad at it. So props to you for doing such a good job. I really love the eyes, but I think that LPS eyes just look better when you add a little bit more eyeliner around them. Like here, you only have the top line, but if you added a little bit on the sides here, like I have with my mascot, I think that would make them stand out a little bit more because the whites of the eyes are sort of getting lost in the light purple of the base, if that makes sense. And then as for the other custom, I want to take a look at this Great Dane dude because he is so cool. I remember when you posted this one on Instagram and I was like, oh my god, that guy looks so awesome. I love the way that he looks. His wounds and stuff look super cool, and I love the bandages that you added on top. Kind of looks like the bandages are made of toilet paper or something. I'm not sure, but that is a creative idea to use like some sort of actual fabric or paper. And I love his hair as well. Got sort of like a brushed gradient into it. It's not like a clean gradient, which again, I'm bad at gradients too, so I'm not one to talk, but I think that the messiness of it really works for this character because he's all rugged and looks like he belongs in an apocalypse setting. As for the eye, he has a scar going through his eye, and this custom is just so eye-catching to me, and I love him a lot. Next up, we have a custom from Strongwater Customs. She is a very talented and probably well-known customizer, and of course, she sent me this custom of Hunter, which I just have to take a look at. This is Hunter from the Owl House. I want to make a custom of him so bad because he's my favorite character. I love this custom, and I know that she recently remade him. But first off, let's just talk about this one. Let's take a look at it. I love the use of the Great Dane ear that you included as well. I think that that looks super good on the collie base. I love the way that you sculpted the scar, how it looks cut into the base with some clay that you added. I do think it's interesting that you chose not to give him a tail. Maybe you just had a collie base that had no tail. So if that's the case, well utilized. But I do think that a collie base is the perfect base idea for Hunter. He is definitely 100% a collie. And I love his hair as well, but he is bald on the back. So I don't think you need to sculpt more hair on the back, but you could at least like paint the darker color of hair on the back as well. I'm gonna take a look at her account to see the new one. Here's the new one. Like you can already see how much more improvement there is on this custom. The sculpting is so much smoother, the paint job is a lot cleaner as well, and even look at the scar again. She did the same technique of adding clay there, but it just looks so much straighter and cleaner, and I love his eye bags too. But yeah, I think that this custom looks great, and it's really cool to see that you have improved so much already, and it hasn't even been that long since you showed me these pictures or since you made that custom. Next up, we have some customs from Halo's LPS. These are super neat. I want to take a look at this one first. This is some sort of like steampunk cat with a bunch of like gears and clocks and stuff. I love what you did with the neck, where you have this giant gear here separating the neck. It reminds me of one of those like Victorian ruffled collars, and I think it's super cool. I love the fact that you went with a pretty simple design for the actual cat. There's not too much going on with him because he already has, you know, a lot of stuff going on with these gears. And this thing you have on the tail with the chains too is also really unique, and I love like this lightning bolt shape that you have sculpted here. I think that's super interesting and cool. Again, I'm going to say the same thing that I told to Yeti with the eyes. I think that LPS eyes just look a little bit better when you add some more black lines into them. It also helps clean up the edges of your eyes in case you're having trouble with that, but I think that it looks great, and this guy's very cool. I totally want to make something like this. And I'll take a look at this custom as well. As you can see on this one, it does have the eyeliner going around the eyes like I was talking about it, and I think that it just looks better that way. And I love that you made the eyes super glossy, so it has its own shines from natural light as opposed to the ones that you paint on LPS. The eyes almost look like they're glowing because of how you painted them. They're very golden, and I think it looks really cool. And I'll take a look at this custom as well because I think it's very cute. Again, we got a very simple design going on here, but it's made up for with the awesome sculpting that you have. I think you're a very, very talented sculptor, and these horns are so cool, and these flowers are so pretty. I have no idea how you sculpted these flowers because they totally look hand sculpted to me. I think it's very cool. All right, next up we have some customs from LPS Ash 146. These customs are super cool. I'm just gonna take a look at this picture with all three of them. We got this cool zombie. I'm not sure what this one in the middle is, but it's also very interesting. And then we have this more simple Jaguar LPS on the side. Talk about the zombie first because I love zombie customs. I think you did a great job with the gore. It looks really cool. I love the way that the blood looks, and I think that the eyes are super, super creative with these X's in them. I just think that that's a cool idea, and it's very cartoony to me, which I really love. The one in the center is also very cute. I guess I'm going to talk about that one and the other one at the same time because I would say that they both look great, but the eyes could use a little bit of improvement, especially with the Jaguar ones. The eyes are sort of just like lines that go straight across in my opinion, and I feel like what makes LPS feel more alive, especially when customizing, is when you paint the eyes to be very, very round. Obviously the shape of the LPS's eye molded into the plastic is a round shape, but when you paint them you also have to keep in mind that your curves should be round instead of straight across. So as you can see, Cobalt's eyes are very circular the way that I painted them, and this guy's eyes are more straight across. I still think that it works. It could still be a style and I have no problem with that whatsoever, but that is just another personal preference of mine and a little tip that I have, and I feel like if you tried it you would find that it makes your LPS come to life much more than they already do. But overall, great customs, and this set that you have behind them looks super, super cool. Next up we have some customs from this person. I don't know how to say their names, so I'm not gonna try. I am so sorry, but these guys are super cool. We have this other custom that looks a lot like a zombie as well, and I love his expression. I think that it looks really funny, but it really works, and I love it a lot. This one is super cool. It looks like the blood or the red designs on it look like blood, and they look really cool. It looks like something that would be in like a cultist scenario or something. Like they've literally carved symbols into this character. I think it's very interesting, and I love the way that the eyes look, and the red is so shiny. I think it's cool as well. And then this custom is very interesting. Like you cut it open and there's like cake or brains or guts inside. I don't know which it is, maybe both. I want to say cake because the outside reminds me of like mint chocolate chip ice cream, but then you got like red velvet cake in the middle. I don't know, maybe that's just saying that I'm hungry and I want to eat this custom. Overall though, I think all your customs are really cool and really creative. I've never seen anything like these before, but I do feel like your designs could be a little bit more cleaned up and polished, especially on this one. Again, I think the design is super cool, but your black details could use a little bit more time to make them cleaner around the edges, because with the more fuzziness that they have, especially on the head, it does end up making the green of the base figure appear a little bit dirty. So if you just clean that up a little bit, I think it would look a lot nicer, and it would really make the green pop out more than it already does. Okay, so I already know this video is going to be super long, so we're just going to take a look at two more. This is RT's_T. I don't think I'm saying that right either, but here are the customs that they've sent me. Super, super cool. I love this Basset Hound. I think that his eyes look super awesome. I paint personal customs with that sort of eye style sometimes, with like the little tiny eyeballs. I really like that. I don't know if his ear is supposed to not be attached, but he's still cute, and I think that the overall design is super cool. I love like these facial markings that he has. I just think that's super, super creative and unique. So I definitely like that custom better. The ferret could use a little bit more work in my opinion. Again, with the eyeliner stuff, definitely include that on this custom since he has a white base coat. It's hard to see like which part is supposed to be the fur and which part is supposed to be the eyes, if that makes sense. And then you could use a little bit more layers on the brown part on his butt, and the tail again looks a little bit dirty just because the brown and the blue, they're sort of looking like they're mixed together more on the tail, and I don't really think that that works when they're like gradients into each other. I think that it would benefit from being a little bit more cleaned up, but I think both of these guys look super cool, and you have very, very creative design ideas. And for the final custom, we are going to take a look at this guy from Twice Customs. Wow, that is so cool. I don't remember even seeing this one when you sent it to me. Look at that mask, dude. That is super, super creepy. I absolutely love that. And it looks like it fits on the LPS super well, too. Looks like she sent me a paragraph about this custom. She says that this custom was inspired by my OC Kenny, which I really appreciate. He is also a serial killer with a creepy mask, so that's probably why I love this custom so much. I totally want to see this LPS in like a series or something. I really want to learn more about this character. Again, I would say add the eyeliner on this custom, especially on the top to separate the eyelids from the actual eyes. Honestly, I don't really feel like this guy needs it on the side, but I would do it anyways. But I love his expression. It's like he's got this little like devious smirk, which I think is super cool and creative. I love when people go like the extra mile to just add a little bit more character like that into their custom, so you can look at the custom and like see what their personality would be like based on the expression that the custom has. I think that's super cool. And as for sculpting, it looks really nice. I like the hair. I'm not entirely sure how the hair was sculpted, but it looks like there are a couple places where the bottom layers are sort of overlapping the top layers, and for hair you want the top layers to overlap the bottom layers. So when I sculpt hair, I do a line of hair on the bottom and then do the next layer and the next layer and the next layer, working from bottom to top instead of top to bottom. This helps the hair come out cleaner and look more natural. But overall, I think that it looks really cool, and I love his tail as well. And honestly, besides the mask, I think my favorite part about this custom is the little outfit that you've given him. I also love that it looks like he's wearing a necklace with a ring that you just have painted on. I think that's a creative idea and a really great way to add that into the custom. Alrighty guys, thank you so much once again to everybody who has sent in customs for me to take a look at. If you would like to send in customs for the next video, you can go ahead and do that once again over on Instagram. Just DM me some photos or posts that you have of your customs. And of course, for all the people that I did not get to yet in this video, I will hopefully feature yours in the next video or more videos to come. I'm trying my best. These videos take a long time to film and I have a lot of submissions, but I really appreciate it, and I'm super happy with how many people liked the first video. I know I'm kind of just saying like the same thing over and over again, like, oh, your custom's so cute, it's so cool, but it really is. I think that the best thing about these videos is that it's showing more recognition for smaller customizers and just everybody in general in the community. So of course, go check out all of these people. They're super cool, super awesome, and I'm so happy to see so much creativity going around in the LPS customizing community right now. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye!